Okay. So, interview here with Martha, part 2. She's going to be talking about the Funkadelic records. So I kind of photographed them earlier when I was in the store. And other DJs have talked about them, and definitely they're iconic. When you think of funk and soul records, I think immediately of Funkadelic. So, what's your take on them?
What is my take on them? Well, they have so many different styles of covers. Mm-hmm. You know, Funkadelic. They're very cartoonish and outright ludicrous at times.
Definitely.
And I think that's part of the appeal. Like Maggot Brain, for example,
exactly,
is kind of horrifying and funny at the same time, with a woman that's buried up to her head. But aside from the sort of dark humor of it, I really like their attention to details on some of their record covers, like this one, which, I mean, they sort of create their own mythology almost. That's what it seems like to me, you know? I mean, we got this outer space theme going on, but like this Earth Mother there. I don't even know what to make of this. But it's very unique, and it's an essential part of the package, you know? I mean,
totally.
I don't know how much the music really corresponds with the visuals of the package, but I don't know. Are you focusing on that at all?
I mean, I kind of am. I think sometimes, like, when you think about the music, maybe the cover art reflects it, maybe it doesn't. I mean, with Funkadelic, and something that kind of in my initial research, I found that they went with this kind of like space theme, and their funk sound was kind of this somewhat almost like, not futuristic, but it has those elements at times. So I think that's something they try to reflect. But the cartoonish theme, like, you think they would go for something more cutting edge as far as like graphics, but they do the throwback, but the ideas they present are like this space theme, you know? So I don't know. I mean, like, I think you can go both ways with it. I mean, like, we were talking earlier about the Ohio Players,
right?
And their music almost is like reflecting this like kind of sensual, sexual thing, and their covers are very like, their covers are very sexy and very something like this. Very like, they're reflecting their music completely, you know?
Right, I know.
And then, and speaking of that, exactly.
Sexy.
There you go. Yeah, I was.
Well, I don't know how sexy that is.
Your ass will follow, and it's describing. It's kind of like going with their whole, you know, their music moves you, you know, in a way.
Sure.
So I mean, there's that. So the second part I was asking you about, and something that I haven't got an opinion about lately, or yet, in this interviewing process, is the aspect of when you see customers come in and buy funk and soul records. Do you have is the cover sometimes talked about? Is it something you think is different than maybe other records? Like, what makes a funk and soul record stand out, like, aesthetically? Is there any distinction? Because maybe there's not.
Well, I don't know. You know, I just feel like most of our customers who come in the store are buying records for the music more than anything.
Yeah.
But certainly, like I used the example of Maggot Brain earlier, certainly that's always a topic of conversation when somebody brings that album up, and people are always saying, I love this cover. Okay, great, you know? Yeah. And I'm sure you're going to love the music too.
Totally.
Usually when a person brings up a funk or soul record, I don't know, I assume that they're planning on getting it on.
Yeah. All right, well, there you go. I mean, it's, you know, we're getting down. I mean, I think there's a lot of different things you can do with funk and soul, but yes, I agree with you. I think that there's some kind of sexual piece that goes in with the music in general. You know,
sure,
it's very associated with the whole movement in the 60s and 70s. Yeah, especially soul. I think soul more than funk sometimes, because it's like has this smooth kind of.
Right. Yeah. Like Curtis Mayfield records. Yeah. I mean, that self-titled album with him in that yellow suit.
Oh.
I mean, that's sexy.
Do you guys have that one?
I don't know. We might.
Let's take a look. That's I think I know what you're talking about, but it'd be cool to have it. Bam! There it is.
Look at that.
Curtis.
I mean, we're looking right in between his thighs.
Whoa, there it is. And he's relaxing. He's chilling, man.
Oh, I know.
I mean, that's Curtis Mayfield right there. That's the man. So yeah, that's a great example. So I mean, you have examples of all different kinds of you know, greats, like, you know, Aretha Franklin, you know, Bill Withers, you know, like just like all these like really, and a lot of them are these photo covers, you know, which I think are really kind of capturing the time and that, which is different than kind of the Funkadelic kind of whole cartoonish thing.
Right, yeah. And I think that they make so many different statements too. Like sexuality certainly is, you know, a recurring theme. I guess. But so is politics.
Yeah,
you know?
really big deal.
and you know the place of the black person in the world and urban experience and all that. And you can see that in even non-funk records, but records that are certainly funky, like Miles Davis on the Corner.
Totally. Oh yeah, I know that record well. Exactly.
Or Water
Babies. Exactly. Well, that actually Cody was giving an example. He had an Ike and Tina record where like on the cover it's Ike like in blackface eating a watermelon. On the back it's Tina doing the same thing. And it's a really intense. It's a really intense record cover, but it has a very intense message. So I think that you're right. It's not only just about like this fun like sexual image, but let's make a statement in some way with the cover and the music. You know.
Right.
So I think that's really cool. Well, Martha, thanks so much. Do you have any other like kind of closing comments or anything?
No, I really don't. I don't. I'm so sorry. I totally forgot you were coming today.
No, it's totally fine. You did a great job. So thank you again for taking the time to talk with us.
You're very welcome.
All right.